much, Grace TV, for coming in for interview this afternoon. I appreciate your effort for coming. We really appreciate for the second phase of the interview. Under you, dear delegates at the aspirant of Makasi Central, I'm here because of organization called Oversight Organization, being an educative department on 10-point agenda under Kenya Kwanza government. So the Kenya Kwanza government, from the last topic, we had the following to put forward. One was economic stabilization, then agriculture transformation, universal health care, education and technical training, social protection, affordable housing. Number 7, we had the financial and business entities, then creation of job opportunities. We shall discuss more, not forgetting affordable housing. So at first and foremost, I'll discuss about economic stabilization of the country. When His Excellency William Ruto took over office as president in September 2022, the country was emerging as economic devastation as a result of COVID-19 pandemic, which was prolonged, drought, high interest rate, and had a crippling debt in the force of challenges bold reforms laid foundation of economic stabilization. Therefore, 5% Kenyan economy is growing at a fast rate of 5%, greater than the global average 3.3% and 3.8% in Africa. Is not that Singapore? Yeah, it's totally Singapore. So the president has done his level best. So according to what is supposed to be done, in addition to that, 17 trillion, which was gross domestic product in May 2025. Positioning Kenya as the largest economy in East Africa and sixth country in Africa large, which is a plus to the Kenyan Kwanza government. Is not that Singapore? It is Singapore. Norma si norma. Sini norma. 9% inflation dropped from 9.6 in October 2022 to 4.5% in December 2025. Therefore, Kenya crippling has recovered. So the Kenyan shilling made remarkable recovery from 162 to $129 US. Medicine, which got medicine, making the imported goods such as medicine, fuel, and household item cheaper at a cheaper cost. Therefore, we give a credit to Kenya Kwanza government. Number next, lowering credit cost. The central bank interest rates fell from 13% to 9.5%, significantly lowering the cost of credit. Is that not Singapore? So the Kenya Kwanza government has done its level best, has done its position. Can you see? So lowering the cost of living, Kenya shilling also recovering from 9.6% to $129 US. Then you can also find that the rate, the central bank inflation rate dropped to 9.6. Is that not Singapore? Then next, foreign reserves. When we look at foreign reserve, CBK reserves grew from 5.97 billion to 22 to 12.1 billion US. By that billion, from 2.5 months, more than 5 months ago. So we can see that Kenyan Kwanza government has done its level best from there, at least since William Ruto came into the power. Then, don't forget about credit score. 7 million Kenyans were dislisted from the CRB. Therefore, giving the Kenya Kwanza a credit score to move forward to Singapore as a nation. Now, may I also not forget about agriculture, the second topic. Now, in agriculture industry, we say that agriculture reforms were transformed as the following. As Kenyan Kwanza government, you can see 7 million farmers have been registered in the government digital platform. This has ensured that you find that ensured more reforms, eliminating frauders from the real agriculture reforms. So, elimination of frauders, corruption, and farmers were given fertilizers. So fertilizers reforms were given to different farmers in the counties. Take an example, 50 kilograms bag retailers were given to 2,500. So per bag is 2,500 shillings compared to last from 7,000. It's not that Singapore, so that's a great period for farmers, hence increasing agriculture production. Next point, as you see, in milk production, we have the milk rise from 5.9% dairy farmers now earns 50 shillings a liter up to 35 shillings per liter. Now, take an example also, 92% increase demonstrating the impact targeted with intervention of agriculture. So agriculture has increased up to 92%. Coffee price have more than doubled from between 70 to 80 shillings. So cash 22 shillings between 120 to 160 baht in 2025. Then tea farmers have also gained an increase of 64 shillings of green leaf from 50 kg, resulting national earnings to 15 shillings. In addition, maize harvest jumped from 44 million bags in 2022 to 67 million bags in 2024, which production increase of maize in the country has raised to 75 million bags ago. Now, take an example also, sugar production rose from 472 to 773 metric tons in 2022, which to 814 metric tons in 2024. Therefore, 76% growth, reducing imports by 70. For the first time in Kenya, sugar farmers are receiving a bonus. Take an example, Zoia, Mumias, and the Cabras sugar mills. Farmers are now salivating every now. When they harvest by sugar, most of the sugar industry, they get their money in time compared to other type of government. Now, sugar cane's earnings per ton rose from 4,350 to 5,750 in 2025. Now, once remaining 30 imports gap is closed, Kenya will move from deficit to surplus as span of 3 years. So, 4 state-owned sugar factories, take an example, Zoia, Mumias, Chemili, and Sony, have been leased to private operators in reforms aimed to enhancing efficiency and sustainability as a result. So farmers are now paid within 7 to 10 days of cane delivery. Previously, they waited for months, if not years. Many times, the government had to step and pay. So sugar factories employees are paid every month. So being an aspirant, that is applies to the Kenya government, Kenya Kwanza government. Definitely, in agriculture and food security, farmers have been registered by the government digital platform. So this has ensured that most of the farmers in tea factory, sugar industry, maize industry have get most of the products through their digital platform app earning, which had compared to the last government, which had most of the brokers and the fraudulence. Now, another topic under farmers we see livestock development in dairy farming. Now, under dairy farming, milk production increased 15.2% from 4.6 billion in 2022 to 5.3 billion liters in 2025, while processed milk volumes grew by what? Grew to 20.5%, strengthening the formal market and farm earnings. So the acquisition and ongoing installation of 230 milk coolers across 40 counties is reducing to harvest improving, bringing to around 1.33 million liters processed milk annually, saving farmers to 68.6 billion. So dairy exports grew by 9% to 92% to 9.2 billion. So as a result, reinforcing Kenya regional competitiveness. Now at large, dairy exports grew to 92, strengthening milk production in all regions, both local and across the world, increasing the dollar rate under milk production and also milk support market in all the world. Kenya business. So the GDP of production of the gross domestic product of milk production also increased. So farmers are salivating. It's not that Singapore, it is also Singapore. So the Kenya Kwanza government has done its level based under milk production. So people are selling milk